What's going on, Cavs fans? We're about 2 months away from the start of the 2023-24 season, and I cannot wait. We got more depth, which should allow head coach JB Bickerstaff a lot more roster versatility, and we got another year of development in the books for the young core. The future is looking really bright for the Cleveland Cavaliers. With that said, last week we got the news that Cavs backup point guard Ricky Rubio is taking a step back from basketball activities to work on his mental health. Something I feel is very important, so I'm wishing him the best in his time away. However, this necessitates the question, what do the Cavs do at backup point guard if Rubio decides he's done? Well, that's what we're here to talk about today, my friends. But before we get into that, if you are new to the channel and want to see more Cavs coverage, consider subscribing, as we'll be dropping new Cavs content daily in an effort to keep y'all informed, and hopefully you'll learn something new about the team we all love so much, right? Well, with that out of the way, let's dive into some of the options the Cavs can explore if Ricky Rubio decides to call it quits on his NBA playing career. Number one, Ty Jerome gets an opportunity. There's a lot to like about Ty Jerome. He has experience, actually has some size to him at 6'5", and best of all, he can space the floor. The issue is that he doesn't necessarily have a history of operating as a team's floor general off the bench. The 770 total minutes he played last season while with the Warriors were a career high, and while he managed to play 42% of his minutes at one guard, his negative 5.2 efficiency differential placed him within the 28th percentile among combo guards. Not great. He did manage to deal out 3 assists per game this past season and looks comfortable enough with the ball in his hands to justify some minutes as the lead guard. He just isn't quite proven enough to warrant the lion's share of them. He is still probably best utilized as an off-ball threat, as 1.4 of his 2 total attempts from range last season were catch-and-shoot triples. The fact that he completed 39.3% of these looks has me feeling really, and I mean really, encouraged about the potential looks he could generate in Cleveland. Time will tell, but I wouldn't be upset about seeing what the man can do given more ball handling opportunities. Number 2, Craig Porter Jr. gets called up earlier than expected. Look, I get it. You should always take Summer League with a gargantuan grain of salt. That said, it's pretty damn hard to ignore the performance that CPJ put on. He had one of the most well-balanced stat lines in recent memory. In 6 Summer League appearances, he put up averages of 12 points, 7.3 rebounds, and 5.3 assists, and was a huge reason why the Cavaliers walked away with the coveted Summer League championship. Despite being listed at just 6'2", his ability to play above the rim was on full display, as he had numerous highlight reel-worthy finishes at the rim. He can out-leap you, he can out-hustle you and out-position you for loose boards, and his work on the defensive end was a refreshing sight for a guard his size. The only real question left is whether or not Porter Jr. can be a respectable shooter from range at the NBA level, as he attempted just 1.5 triples per game at Summer League and converted just 11.1%. It should be noted that while at Wichita State, he completed roughly 35.8% of his total triples, with his final season being his best, finishing with a mark of 36.3% on 3.3 triples attempted per game. It should also be mentioned that he wasn't much of a catch-and-shoot threat last season, as he attempted just 12 catch-and-shoot jumpers. He must prove that he can be relied upon to knock down the long ball in order to render himself impossible to ignore. With all of that being the case, Porter still has a chance to climb into the rotation purely off the merits of his all-around game. I'd love to see it. Number 3, Caris LeVert mans the point. Yo, I get it. Caris LeVert is not a point guard by nature. His best skill set remains his ability to score the basketball. Whether it be on ball or off ball, he has proven that he is very valuable to have off the bench. However, part of what makes LeVert so damn valuable, especially at his near $16 million per year salary, is his versatility, folks. Although most consider him to be a 2 or combo guard by nature, he is more than capable of lining up at the 1 guard or 3 if necessary. He can legitimately suit up 1 through 3 when the occasion calls for it. Last season, LeVert spent the bulk of his minutes manning the 2, roughly 59% to be exact. He also spent considerable time at small forward, as well as 39% of his minutes at the 3. That is where he seemed to be most impactful, as the Cavs had a plus 7 point differential with LeVert at the 3 and had an expected win total of 58. And had Cleveland had better options off the bench, he may have stayed there. Now, obviously that wasn't the case, and we know why. They needed this production off the bench, especially with Rubio missing damn near half this season and Isaac Okoro not yet showcasing a consistent floor spacing ability. That stat sheet might say that he only saw 2% of his minutes at point, but he definitely handled the rock more than that would indicate. This is because he shared a lot of his time with one or both of Donovan Mitchell or Darius Garland on the floor. As you can imagine, they soaked up those minutes at point, especially for defensive purposes. His usage rate was the second lowest of his career, but his 19.9% rate was fourth on the team, and he ranked within the 90th percentile in assist percentage, which was second to only Rubio. LeVert's 3.9 assists per game ranked third on the team behind only Garland and Mitchell, and with the additions of floor spacing options like Max Strus, George Niang, and Ty Jerome, I could definitely see the average rising if they turned LeVert loose as the team's lead guard off the bench. Number 4, bring in a vet. If the Cavs feel at all like they don't trust the in-house options, they could look elsewhere, such as the free agent market in search of a proven veteran option at the backup point. Players such as Kendrick Nunn, Michael Carter-Williams, DJ Augustine, Ish Smith, George Hill, Matthew Dellavedova, and Goran Dragic are all available. I gotta be honest with you guys, this is the least appealing option to me. I'd feel much better about just letting one of the in-house options have a crack at it rather than take a chance on any one of these dudes. Sorry, Delly. Last but not least, I am not ruling out Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland's minutes being staggered in an effort to make up for whatever is lost from Rubio not being available. This is honestly probably among the first things that Cleveland will try. These are two all-star caliber players we're talking about here, guys, both of which are capable of playing either guard position at a high level. Garland is coming off of 3 straight seasons averaging at least 6 assists and is still evolving. And Mitchell spent 30% of his minutes last season playing point guard, where he was pretty damn effective. He had 31 games in which he dished out 5 or more assists. That's a pretty damn good tandem to have available to you when situations like this arise. That's going to do it for this one, folks. And if you are new to the channel and want to see more Cavs coverage, consider subscribing. Thanks for tuning in, and go Cavs.